Hi everyone, it's Jess with Craft with Jess, and today we're gonna make my beautiful gingerbread Christmas tree skirt together. So you're gonna get your materials together. You first need to get your white or off-white t-shirt yarn or any color you wanna work with. I'm just gonna start off with this ball. This is something I have left over, and a size 12 millimeter hook, which is a size P. In America. You can also use a size 10 if you feel like the size 12 is a little bit too big. This is a size 10, but just know that if you change hook sizes, then your skirt is going to be a different size than the gauge. So get yourself your white t-shirt yarn to start off with. There's loads of materials that you're going to need for this pattern, different color yarn, different hooks, hot glue gun and stuff, because we also have to attach the gingerbread men and make those. To get the full list of materials and all the directions, make sure to download the PDF pattern from my website. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get started. Round one, you're going to make a slip knot onto your hook in chain 31. Make sure that whenever you make the knot onto your hook that you're putting it here on this portion of your hook, not here. This is the size of your stitches. This needs to come from here. Okay, so we have made our chain, and now what we're gonna do is, didn't do the best job with my making even stitches, but that's okay. We're gonna now work back across the chain, making slip stitches. And whenever I do slip stitches on the chain from the beginning of every project, I go into the third back loop. I don't go into the top loops. So to make our chains, we're gonna flip the chain over. You're always gonna skip the first stitch, and we're gonna go into the second stitch, and we're going to slip stitch. I'm just going to slip stitch into this third back loop. So slip stitching all the way back to the beginning. Okay, so now you can see this nice detail that we just did here. And this is going to become the circle center of the skirt. And we've got this beautiful, braid on the inside. And this is, whenever you take the time to do little details, in the end, it makes it so much more beautiful, in my opinion. Okay, so round two, we're going to be working on the wrong side. So the wrong side is going to be the flip side of your work. This is the top, the right side, and this is the wrong side. Okay, and we're going to start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. The chain 3 counts as the first double crochet of every round. And some people do a chain 2, some people do a chain 3. I've used to do the other way, but now I like to do chain 3 whenever I count it as a double crochet, because the top chain turns and kind of becomes a better stitch. So that's your preference, but that's what I like to do. Okay, so for this round, so we're going to flip over, and now we're going to be crocheting into this top loop here. So if you look, we've got our braids, right? We did the slip stitching braid, and then we've got this top one and this bottom one. So we're going to go into this top loop only and make double crochets across. Let me just show you what that looks like if I flip it around on the right side. Okay, you see how it comes out of here, and then you can still see this ribbing. That's what we want to have. So let's just go all the way across, making a double crochet into each stitch, and we're going to have 30 stitches. Okay, and going into the very last one. Make sure you always have plenty of yarn and you're not working really tight. All right, so you should have 30 stitches, and you're going to chain 3 1, 2, 3, and turn to the right side of your work. It almost could be a necklace. It's, you know, pretty just like that. So in this round, we're going to start our increase rounds and also our front post triple crochet. So if you're on the right side of the pattern, the right side of your work, which is this pretty side, you're going to be doing front post triple crochets. If you're working on the back side, you're going to be doing back post triple crochets. So we'll go all through that together step by step, but for this pattern, round 3, we're going to do the next stitch. We're going to do a double crochet because the first chain 3 is a double crochet. Next stitch, we're doing a double crochet just like normal. In the next stitch, we're going to do a double crochet increase, or basically 2 stitches in one, but one of those stitches is not going to be a double crochet. It's going to be a front post triple crochet around the post below. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet into the chain at the top, but I need to increase. So I'm going to do an extra stitch in the same section, but underneath the stitch around the post. So the triple front post triple crochet is where you just yarn over 2 times. And then you're going to go around your post, grab a loop, and you're going to yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. And the reason I do the triple versus the double is so that your work, when you lay it out, it doesn't pull and it's nice and even and flat. Okay, so you just increased there. And then the repeat for this round is you're going to do 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, doing your posts as well. So in the next stitch, I'm going to do 1. I'm going to do 1 double crochet in the next. Okay, so coming to the end of round 3, we did our last post, and now we're going to make our last 3 double crochet. So you got 1 here, 1 here, and then in the 3rd chain from the chain 3. Okay. And we're going to chain 3 and turn to the wrong side of our work. You should have a total of 39 stitches. All right, so for round 4, we're going to double crochet in the next 2. And we're going to make a back post triple crochet around the post from the previous row. So because we're on the wrong side of the work, we're going to do back post triple crochets. Whenever we're on the right side of the work, we're going to make front post triple crochets. So I'm going to make a back post triple crochet, just yarn over 2 times. You're going to go around the stitch from the previous row, grab your loop from behind, and then you're going to yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and yarn over and go through 2. And then in our next stitch, so you're going to leave a space here and work into the next stitch, and you leave this space here because we've already consumed this stitch by doing the post. So instead of putting the stitch in here, we did it around the post. So that needs to stay empty unless you're increasing there. So we're going to go to the next stitch and we're going to do a double crochet increase. Okay, and then the repeat for this round is going to be 2 double crochet, a back post triple crochet, and then an increase. 2 double crochet, back post triple crochet, and then an increase all the way around. So let's do that together a couple times. 1, 2, back post triple crochet. So you're going to go and from behind, you're going to go around your post, you're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Leave that space empty and do an increase in the next. Okay, and then we're gonna keep going. Go behind, get your post. And then an increase in the next one. And what that does is that just helps you to continue the posts like you were working on the right side of the work. See? Okay, so you're gonna do that all the way across. So now we're towards the end, and I'm gonna do my last increase. Two stitches in the same, and then I'm gonna do 2 more double crochet. So 1 in the last double crochet and 1 in the chain 3 of my chain. All right, and you should have 48 stitches for this round, and we're going to chain 3 and go to the right side. Okay, so for this round, we're going to double crochet in our double crochet stitches. We're gonna do a post around our posts, and then we're gonna increase. So we're always skipping the first because our chain 3 counts as a stitch. So 1, 2, 3, yarn over 2 times, go around your post. 1, oops, lost my yarn there. Let me grab it. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Make sure you skip this stitch in the back because you've already consumed that space. And you're gonna make your increase in the next. Okay, and then we're gonna double crochet 3. And triple front post triple crochet, leave a space, and then double crochet increase in the next. Okay, and we're just gonna keep doing that all the way across. Okay, and I'm gonna do my last post. I'm gonna do my last increase. And then my last 2 stitches. All right, that's the end of round 5. You should have 57 stitches. And we're gonna go on to the next round. Round 6, so chain 3, turn to the wrong side of your work. Okay, so for round 6, and you guys are kind of getting the hang of it now, I think the concept is the same. You're gonna do double crochets where there are double crochets. We're gonna do a back post, triple crochet if you're on the wrong side. If you're on the right side, you're gonna do a front post triple crochet. And then we're gonna do an increase stitch. And you're just gonna do that for the whole pattern. You can follow my pattern and stop at the row that I stop at, or you can keep going if you want your skirt to be longer. I stopped at about 1 meter in diameter because I knew that with my ruffle border, that would add on several more inches. And also just keep that in mind, if you do add a border, you can add several rows of your border, so it just gets like even bigger, and you can have a nice contrast. You can do different colors, so keep that in mind. Okay, so we're gonna do this row together. Let's make our double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, whoops. We're gonna do our back post triple crochet. Okay, then we're going to skip our stitch right there and do an increase in the next. And then we're gonna work our stitches across. So we have 4 now, so we gotta do 4 double crochet. Back post, and skip that stitch and do an increase in the next, and work across. Okay, I will see you guys at the end of this row. All right, I'm coming to my end and I have run out of yarn. So I actually have a video on how to combine t-shirt yarn in the best way using a sewing machine. There is a really good way to combine it so you cannot tell at all. No knots, no lumps and bumps in your work, nothing like that. Check out that video, I'll link it in the description. But if you want a quick method, you don't need to tie a knot. What you do is you just yarn over, go into your stitch, and instead of looping over with that yarn, you're gonna loop over with your new yarn and pull that through, and then you're gonna tie in those ends and then pick up your new yarn. Oh, look. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna yarn over, you're gonna go, well, I gotta yarn over twice because I've got my triple crochet. You're gonna go into your work, and instead of yarning over with that yarn, you're gonna pull up your new strand, you're just gonna lay it over your hook and come through with the new yarn. And then keep crocheting like normal, and you will crochet over your tails. And you gotta adjust your strings a little bit, you see? And then you can crochet over your tails in your next stitch. So I'm gonna crochet over those. That's the quick method. Now if I'm working on a project where I know I'm gonna keep this for years or I'm gonna give it as a gift, then I will take the time to sew it together so it does not come out and there's no strings, you know. But yeah. Okay, we're coming towards the end here, and I'm gonna do my last double crochets. Then you can cut those strings when you want. Okay. All right. You should have 66 stitches for this round, which is round 6. And we're gonna chain 3 and go back to the right side of the work. So I'm gonna stop the video here for increasing, augmenting your work. Go ahead and follow the pattern. Each row is written out step by step. If you haven't gotten the pattern, it's in the description of the video. Follow that along. Otherwise, you should kind of be able to get the gist of it on your own. We're just increasing once in every section. You're doing double crochets where there are double crochets, and you're doing a post around the posts. And then go ahead and do a total of 18 rounds total. That's what I did. And then round 19 will be the ruffle border. So let's jump to that. Okay, so for your contrast color, what you're gonna do is actually back up a little bit. When you change colors, you want your last loop to be in that color. So what I do is, let me back up. Let's say that I was back on my last stitch of the previous row, yarn over, chain 2, and then you got to yarn over for the last stitch in the new color. Okay, just like that. That's the best way to change colors out. Now I'm going to chain my 3 and adjust your strings. I'm going to cut this. Okay, to make the ruffle border, any type of ruffle, it's so easy. All you do is just add more stitches per stitch. So now I'm going to crochet over my strings.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Oh, Alexa, I was not talking to you. Okay, so I'm just gonna do another double crochet here and just pull on your tails to kind of hide, especially the other color. Okay, and you're gonna do 2 or 3 double crochets per stitch, depending what you feel. How roughly do you want it to be? Do you want it to be slightly wavy? Do you want it to be super, super curly? How do you want it? You decide. So I'm just gonna do 3 per stitch because I like the super ruffled look. And I'm crocheting over my other strands at the same time, just laying it over on top like that. Okay, so that's how you make the ruffle border. If you didn't want to do this, you could just do like 1 row of single crochet in a contrast color, or slip stitching even, or you could do like any kind of border that you love, any kind of stitch. I feel like this kind of like goes with the theme, I don't know, gingerbread ruffles. Okay. All right, so you can see how it's getting wavy like that. And that's what you're gonna do all the way across. And when you get to the end, then you're gonna cut your yarn. So let's pretend that we're at the end. Cut your yarn, and then you're gonna just pull out your yarn like that, and then you sew through with your yarn needle, and that's how you finish. So that's the basics of making this Christmas gingerbread tree skirt. So now you've got all the different sections where you're gonna place your gingerbread men. So now I'm gonna show you guys the skirt itself. Okay, so here's my actual skirt, and you can see how big it got as we increased. And you see how I have like some holes here? That's because of my tension and also the hook size that I chose. If you wanted yours to be more compact, then you would use a smaller hook size if that feels comfortable for you, and you wouldn't see so many holes. But I don't mind that. And then I've got my gingerbread men on here. So we are gonna use a different kind of yarn for this. It's still t-shirt yarn, but it's called ribbon t-shirt yarn. It's slightly thinner, a little bit easier to work with, and more like moldable. That's just my preference. It's from the same company that I use, which is hooked.co.uk, but you can still use anything you want really, as long as it's about the same thickness for it to be this big. You can see it's about the size of my hand. How cute is that? And I just chose to make the same little men all the way across, but you could have, they could have their own personalities. You could have one that's missing a leg, one that has a scarf, one that has a hat, one that's frowning. You could have a girl with a skirt. You could do anything, one with a candy cane. So, okay, so to watch the gingerbread man video, go ahead and click on the other link for that in the description, and you will be able to see that video.